I see where I do the highs, where they're not on the album. I see that, and I see them doing it, and I know they're doing it the way I was doing it.
Right.
You know, and so that's definitely helped me a lot as far as that. You know, because a lot of people ask us now if we're ever doing another live album. It's like, well, no, you know,
right.
Never say never. You know,
yeah.
There's a lot more songs since we have a lot more songs in the catalog now since we did live catalog.
Yeah. Speaking about your vocals, from what I understand, you don't use any type of technology. Like you don't use any, like it's just raw. Is that correct?
There's maybe
like some reverb or something.
Yeah, that's about it. And some of the records we've done it's been dry. Like
that's
dry voice, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it works for certain people, and for me it doesn't. I never even thought about it. When I was growing up in my room, just singing along to, Slayer and DSI and shit like that.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I was just trying to sound like them. That's all.
Just like any other kid that's in his room.
I wasn't. Yeah. I was just in my room. I had a piece of wood. Seriously, I was just singing, acting like it was a guitar. Yeah. Most of the guys I liked anyway played guitar and sang. And this is back way before anybody even started thinking about cupping the mic or anything. So, I mean,
that score, holy shit.
Bullshit. I mean, I never thought about, I just sang. I didn't ever think about what effects were or anything. I really had no idea, to tell you the truth, When I was younger.
You didn't know people used it.
I didn't know, I knew what a harmonizer was because,
right.
It's obvious there's something going on. But, I never, that's about it, though. Now you got all these different kind of effects you can put on stuff. And some of them are obviously not being done live. They're just, for...
Of course.
I mean, but I just, I don't know.
Do you play guitar at all? Like, not for personal...
No. I used to have a bass. Before, I used to have a bass, and it got broken. I tripped over one day, and it was a headstock. It was one of the headstocks like that.
Yeah.
And it was broken. And I think it only cost my parents like $100.
That's all right.
And I sold it to this guy for $75 as is. So, and he knew it was broken.
He knew how to do it.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I can, this and that. And I was like, all right, dude, cool. You know what I mean? When I had my bass, a friend of mine had a guitar, and he was like, I'll show you some guitar scales. You know what I mean? Just to get your fingers going. You know what I mean? Maybe you should go get some lessons from somebody, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So he, wrote me some scales out or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this. Brain and blood. And look, I knew what I was doing. That's all I did. I just put it on and just acted like I was. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I'm not learning anything. I'm not becoming a, And then it got broken and just ended it right there.
Right.
Because I would have had to fix it anyway. I just, and at the time, I got the bass because I thought, I'd like to play bass maybe and sing. But then I just started thinking, you know what? It wasn't even about being in a band. It was just, I just go in my room and sing. And my mother's like, what are you doing over there? I'm just singing, to the records, Mom. She's like, but it's loud. Everybody in the neighborhood hears you. And I'm like, well, this is loud singing. It's not, we're not, this isn't country music or anything.
Yeah,
it's not really, it's a lot more uncontrolled as far as the singing goes. And then, I met some dudes and,
Did it scare your parents when they heard you?
My mother got used to it.
Yeah.
She was cool. My father didn't care, you know what I mean?
George just
they never tried to stop me doing, they never tried.
That's very cool.
Once I really, in 1988 was when, my first band started, For years, it was me and the guy that had the guitar, this friend of mine, Jeff. He, me and him would just go to his house after my bass was broken, or it might have even been before I even got the bass, and we would play stuff. And we had this little practice amp, on his guitar, and he was taking guitar lessons, and his teacher was so open-minded about it that he was showing him how to play certain riffs from certain bands. So he would be jamming the riffs, and I would just get these sticks, or I actually might have got some drumsticks from somewhere, and play it on the pillows in his house, and we would record that.
Awesome.
There used to be some tapes out there of us recording.
Do you still have any?
No, I had one tape of me and him, some songs we wrote, and I remember that I broke it up. And I wish I did.
You're talking about donating to charity. That would have been an awesome thing to auction off. got some bucks for that.
People would hear, but I would be so embarrassed. I mean,
Well, you were a kid.
Well, dude, I mean, some of the.
It was bad or what?
If you would hear some of the songs we came up with, the titles and stuff, they weren't. It was like, But I mean, look, like I said, I didn't really care about being in a band. I was just singing. And then me and my friend Jeff met these two guys that we saw at every show. Right. But we just, and they were looking to try to get a band together, and we, and then we decided to get together. And the drummer lived like not too far away from me, like walking distance to my house. So we would go to his house and we started practicing, because that was my first band. It was called Corpsegrinder. That's what the band was called.
That's awesome.
And we were jamming and whatnot, and the reason I was actually singing was they were talking to me, and this the two guys, Mark and Chris, were talking to me and Jeff. And Jeff said, well, he knows the lyrics to every song ever. He can sing them. He goes up his room, he sings them. He's good at it. And they're like, well, you got to sing that. And I was like, okay, because before that there were these two other friends of mine. One guy played drums, the other guy played guitar. That lived a little bit further away, and we were always talking about doing a band, and they were like, you got to sing because you know the lyrics, and that just never panned out. Right. But that's pretty much what I did, and so when we were doing the thing with Corpsegrinder, I don't even remember what the fuck I was singing out of. I mean, I bought a mic and everything, and I have no clue what might have been. I might have had I think I had a practice amp. A little practice amp with the bass that I didn't sell. Right. I think I kept that. I was singing through that. I think it was. Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. It was bootleg, but I had to do what we had to do. And then we might have had Christ, it's so long ago, I don't remember exactly. We stepped it up and maybe had a PA or some shit. I don't know. Yeah. But that's how it all pretty much started. And I never really knew anything about effects. I know the first Monstrosity demo. Mm-hmm. That's got a lot of reverb on the voice, again, because I really wasn't even paying attention to how much reverb they put on it, and afterwards it's like, god damn, that's a lot of fucking reverb.
Doesn't sound like me, technically.
It does sound, it's me, but and especially because I was younger too, and the voice is different because of that, but I never really cared for doing effects. It just, and cool. When we play live, I'm like, look, you want to put a little reverb to wet it up, that's it, but don't put delays or anything on the voice. We've done it in the studio and it's okay. We've done it recently, but I really, to me, rather not, just because nowadays, it's weird after every show, a lot of kids come up to me and say, dude, man, do a growl. And I'm like, did you just watch the show? Did you not watch the show? And what their reaction is, yeah, but I want to see you do it now in front of me. I'm like, weren't you at the show? Was it not in front of you just then? Because I can't say that I know that a lot of bands are doing that, but maybe they're just like, there's no way you can do that a person can do that. It's ridiculous. It's like, well, yeah, a person can, and a lot of people are doing it. Some better than others.
That's right. That's awesome. Death Clock, Metal Octaves, Nathan Explosion. So I interviewed Brandon a couple months back, and we were talking about you. Obviously, he goes on record and he says that the inspiration for Nathan Explosion is yourself and Conan the Barbarian, which is just fucking awesome. That is so
very flattering. I mean, to even be mentioned as an inspiration for something along with Conan, because I grew up reading Conan.
So did I, man.
I mean,
the Sega?
Savage Sword, Conan Sagas with the reprints, all the normal Conan the Barbarian, King Conan. I love all that stuff. So.